Kicking off our Sunrise Smart Start, we're learning more about the charges for a Rochester mother accused of killing her son. The father of that 16-year-old boy says the arrest brings a moment of relief during so much heartbreak.
This goes back to October 10th. That morning, police rushed to Breck Street for a call of a teen down, unconscious in the road, maybe hit by a car. That was 16-year-old Kari Gibson. In this video from a doorbell camera, you can hear some yelling. Police say Kari and his mom, Anika Connor, were arguing about his phone. The video shows the car start to accelerate. The boy falls and he's knocked out. The woman starts to yell, saying someone should call police. The teen died at the hospital nearly a month later. We did interview his father yesterday following the arraignment for the mother on charges of manslaughter, reckless endangerment, and endangering the welfare of a child.
Barely holding up. Today was just a small victory, but it was a relief. I just been waiting for them to tell me that she was arrested, and today was that day. He was a hero, and I hope his story helps a lot of other kids. And I miss him very, very much, man.
The mother's next court appearance is scheduled for the next couple of days.
In another disturbing case involving members of one family, Rochester police have charged a 17-year-old boy with murdering his father. They say it happened around 11 Monday night at an apartment on Garson Avenue, where officers found 38-year-old Devin McBride Sr. shot dead inside. The suspect, Devin McBride Jr., was the one who called 911, claiming someone shot his dad and left the scene. Investigators later determined the teen shot his father during an argument and recovered an unregistered handgun and shotgun inside the home. McBride Jr. is facing charges for murder and criminal possession of a weapon, with bail set at $10,000. He's due back in court Friday.
Security preparations around the world are well underway to ring in 2026 at the stroke of midnight. In Australia, Sydney Harbour is going to have its largest police presence ever, with people there still on edge following the deadly Bondi Beach terror attack during Hanukkah. National Guard troops have been deployed here to New Orleans on Bourbon Street 1 year after a man drove his truck through a crowd, killing 14 victims. In New York City, Times Square is pulling out all of the stops for the iconic crystal ball drop. It'll fall twice to usher in America's 250th anniversary. Thousands of police officers will be there on the ground in the city, with more than 1 million people expected to be out there braving the cold to celebrate.
We're going to do our part. We need you to do your part. If you see something, say something.
Clock makers in London, meantime, are fine-tuning the mechanics of Big Ben to make sure the nearly 200-year-old landmark chimes right at midnight to ring in 2026.
If you're driving to your New Year's Eve celebration, here's a friendly reminder to do so responsibly. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, drunk driving caused nearly 5,000 deaths in December from 2019 to 2023. This means roughly every 85 seconds, someone is killed or injured by an impaired driver. While many may toast at midnight with a glass of champagne, AAA is urging you to have a plan to get home in advance.
Please choose a designated driver, use a rideshare or taxi, maybe stay with a friend or at a nearby hotel if you do plan to drink or even use drugs. Hosts are encouraged to also offer non-alcoholic options, help their guests plan a safe ride home, and please step in if someone is clearly too impaired to drive home safely.
If you're running late to a party, it might be tempting to speed to save some time, but it'll only save minutes and could have deadly consequences.
For all the parents with the kids who don't want to stay up too late, there are plenty of options for you around Rochester. Before the ball drops at midnight, you can go to local libraries, entertainment spaces, the YMCAs that are putting on family-friendly events to commemorate New Year's Eve. The Seneca Park Zoo is doing 2 early ball drops, one at the snow leopard habitat and then the other near the back of the zoo by the rhino. For those interested in a slightly later experience, Dave & Buster's in Henrietta has a lot going on with food, unlimited games. That's from 4 to 7, or you can catch one of the final shows for OFC's How the Grinch Stole Christmas the Musical in Brighton. The show is at 7, runs about an hour and 20 minutes. For a full list of everything going on, if you're still making plans, you can check out the story over at rochesterfirst.com.
A $22 million proposal to build a new firehouse in Irondequoit has been rejected.
Now, the current station there was built in 1990, and since then it has fallen out of compliance with the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. That group requires all compliance stations to be sectioned off into different zones to limit the exposure of chemicals which may be brought in by crews when they come back from a fire call. The vote failed 485 to 358. Prior to getting those results, we did hear again from the district fire chief on why this new home is needed.
This is just really about the health and safety and operational readiness of our firefighters. It's about protecting them, and it's about building a building that's going to be here for the next 50+ years. You could look at just about every cancer statistic across the board. Firefighters are at more risk than the general public. 14% of dying of cancer than the general public. And that's why it's so important for us to build a new firehouse and have a way to protect those that protect us.
Some voters we heard from were on board with the plans, which would have cost them an extra $62 or so a year in their taxes. Others just wanted some more time than 3 months heads up to learn about the project to weigh the pros and cons.
If you break that down month to month, that's really, an extra $5, $6 a month that we'd have to pay to have a whole brand new facility here for them to use. I think it's a great investment.
And it seemed to me there wasn't a lot of publicity about this. So that was a little disappointing. I don't know how transparent the process was. I'm not at odds with the goals or the means of building a new firehouse. I just wish that the voters had gotten more information well in advance.
No word yet on if or when they will try to push this project forward again in the future.
The warning period for Rochester's school bus safety program has been extended. Earlier this fall, the city announced all RCSD buses would have security cameras installed to catch people illegally passing stopped school buses. The city began a 2-month warning period November 3rd and has since extended it through January 20th. So far, there have been 100,000 video clips of drivers and nearly 4,000 warnings mailed out. The extension is for trained personnel to review over 5,000 additional videos and to send warning letters to the remaining drivers. A first offense will lead to a fine of $250. A second offense will be $275, and 3 or more will lead to a $300 charge.
Your sunrise traffic before you head out. In Greece, one accident just reported Barbie Drive and Maiden Lane there. Elsewhere, we're okay on the main expressways. The view from our greater rock sky-eyed. Your final sunrise weather for 2025.
How about
James?
that? Make it a half day today. Work half the day, get home at 1 o'clock, and just avoid the afternoon snow. Because I think it could be a little bit messy out there later today. Slipping and sliding, I think, for the 5 p.m. drive, and then tapering off overnight. Tomorrow, it is cold, stuck in the teens there, and then remaining cold into the weekend.
No half day for us. We've still got our podcast, Second Cup of Sunrise, at 9 o'clock on the Rochester First streaming app and at rochesterfirst.com. And of course, we'll be here midday, News 8 at noon.
And that does it for us on News 8 at Sunrise. Thanks for watching. Our next update is in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings up next.
Wherever you are on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 on demand. Plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.